Okay, so I'm down $100 already. I closed out. I got stopped out a minute ago. I thought we were gonna get a turnaround. The buyers came in pretty strong here at the end. It did surprise me. I'm short again though. I don't think that we're gonna get a push down though. The buyers are pretty strong here at the close. So yeah, I'm not looking to push this too far. Uh, the end of day, I'm not going to be greedy or anything. Just wanted to see, could we get a pullback after that buy up at the close. Sometimes they'll do that. They'll sucker in the longs going into the close, and then right at the close they'll slam it back down again. So that's what I was hoping we'd see here, but it's not looking like it's shaping up that way. We're not getting any kind of selling. Buyers are holding it up. But I'm hoping here at the end of day, sometimes right at the close here, they'll start moving it again. Yeah, I'm not liking it. I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in. It's not good, but we gotta play it safe in case they pop it back up here at the end. Yeah, I don't like locking it in that tight. Yeah, that's not good. If it doesn't make this move, it's just gonna stop me out. But I don't want to try and be too greedy end of day here. There we go. There's a nice little move. I was hoping we'd get bigger than that. Get it back down towards VWAP. It's not really shaping up that way. A little more selling, maybe. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. I'll take that. That's fine. So I ended up green. It might keep going down. I'm not trying to play with it here at the end because if they didn't get a big move there, buyers might just step right back in and rip it right back up again here at the end. We're coming right up to the 1 o'clock. I'm watching it on Bookmap over here. And yeah, it just wasn't strong sell. Yeah, here comes some buyers already stepping in at 1 o'clock. Yeah, buyers kind of stepping in here. So yeah, I don't like to mess around at the end of the day like that. Sometimes the moves are kind of obvious. This wasn't really obvious. It didn't play out the way I wanted it to, but I got out okay. I lost 100, but then I got back almost 200. I hit the close button though, and it basically slipped from. I would have been up about $100 to up about $75. It slipped a little bit right as I clicked close. It popped up on me. I needed it to stay down, and it popped up a little bit right as I was clicking close. So lost a little bit there on that exit, but I don't care. I usually use the close button on those kind of end of day. Don't want to mess around. I'm not liking the price action. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. If it had been like 56, 57, 1256, 1257, and we had a nice strong push that came way down below VWAP real quick right at that time, I would have been more confident. Okay, maybe they'll come back down all the way down again. But when it's this kind of end of the day stuff and it just kind of barely did anything coming up, and then it kind of a little bit coming back down again, nothing real big, not a lot of delta, not a lot of volume. I'm not looking for anything big. I'm expecting it to kind of die with the way this looks here. But who knows? They might continue a little bit in these after hours, but I don't like to hold on to trades into these after hours. If it goes against you, you know, you don't have any time for it to come back or anything. So it's better to just take some green and get out. I'm happy at least it was a green day instead of a red day. The other funded account here, this guy was the one. I was down on this one. This was up at $3,100 positive last week. I had $5,300, $53,100 last week, and I had a tilt day. I almost blew it up, and I stopped myself from blowing it up. I was down 1,600 and got it back to 800 for the day. 800 loss for the day. So yeah, this was down at 52,300. It was down at 52,300 last Thursday, I think. And took a couple of small winners on Friday. I think I got a couple hundred out of Monday, and then I think I got, what was it, 600 today? Then after, yeah, 588 after the fees and everything. I took a lot of trades. I didn't have many losers. I only had a couple losers in those trades, but I kept trying like 2 to 4 micros, and then I'd lock it in real quick and get stopped out real quick. So I had a bunch of small winners. I had built up a couple $100. I think I was at like 220 or 230 with small winners. I kept getting like $30, $40. It kept stopping me out. I'd be up a couple $100 and I'd lock in 30, $40 and it would stop me out. I did that several times, just trying to protect my green trades. I don't like letting my green trades turn red. So finally got one good one though, that I got 100 points off of 2 micros. I got about $400, and so I finished up with this about 588 there after all the commissions. So yeah, it's not very efficient use. Obviously 32 micros is the same as using 3 minis. So if you go in for 3 minis and you make $600, yeah, that's not very efficient use of your contracts, of your trades. But I'd rather play it safe with these PAs and lock in profits than tilt myself by letting green trades turn red and getting pissed off at myself and revenge trading and doing stupid stuff like I did last week. I got into a hole last week and got mad and tried to size up to get out of the hole and made it bigger, and then finally calmed down and took smaller trades to get it back, and was locking in small losses too. I wasn't letting the losses get big like I did on those first couple losers that kind of tilted me. I went back to take small losses. I tried to let a few winners run, but I kept getting stopped out. So like I said, I got from 1,600 loss to about 800 loss with a lot of contracts. I think I ended up trading like 300 or 400 contracts on that day. So yeah, I kept trying, but I just kept locking in profit and locking in stops and just really being strict about don't let a loser get big, tight stops. And I've been sticking to that these last few days again and doing a little better the last few days. So yeah, I got this. It was at 2,300, or I should say 53,000. Or 52,300. It was at 52,300, and I got it back up to 53,500 today. Basically over the last week. It's been about a week. So that's a good comeback for me rather than blowing it up. I've still got 5 good accounts, but obviously I've blown up a few of the other new ones that I said I was going to push on. I pushed with some gold. And got beat up pretty bad. I lost 3 funded accounts, and I think I tried like 4 times on evals with the gold when they had their previous 90%. I think they have 90% again, but I'm not doing any evals. I'm just focusing on the PAs. Yeah, I did. I tried micros on gold, but the moves were so big, it was pretty much, you might as well have been playing minis on NASDAQ. The moves were so big. I'd go in for 1 micro, and before I know it, I'd be down $500-$600. It was crazy moves. There was, I think, a $800 day on gold last week or something crazy. I forget what it was. Too big, basically. The moves were too big. I think Apex shut. I don't know if they shut everybody down, but they shut my wife and I down. We can't trade gold. We get this error message if we try to trade gold. And I haven't really wanted to anyway. I was playing it. I made some good money on when it was on its push up. It was pretty easy. It was just buy a pullback, and you were pretty much guaranteed to make some money because it just kept going up. There's hardly any pullbacks for days. It did it. But then once it started to go down, it went down with a fury. So yeah, ever since then, ever since it went down, it was pretty hard to play, and then I got locked out right after the big down move started to flatten out, started to come back up again. I found I couldn't trade the gold anymore. So yeah, I haven't even missed it. I got so wrecked on gold. I hadn't even hardly paid attention to it. I enjoy it more when it's a smaller range, when it's more choppy, less risk. I enjoy that more actually. This high risk, high volatility stuff is it's for the birds, I guess you'd say. It's just not. It's so risky. Yeah, I made pretty good money on one of my new PAs actually that I ended up blowing it up with gold. I made some good money on it, and I was up like $1,200 in like 2 days. And I wasn't trading real aggressive or anything. I was only taking one or two micros on gold, but the moves were just so big, and I had a couple that just went my way really quickly, really nice. I think one was like $800, the other was like $400. I mean, these are huge moves. If you look back at the chart just a few years ago, these are huge moves a few years ago. $40, $50 was an entire day's range not that long ago, just like I think even just last year. So yeah, having it within a day multiple $200 up and down moves, $300 moves in gold. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm just staying away from it. Just staying away from gold. I'm glad Apex locked everybody out, or at least locked us out. I heard other people talking about it too, that they were locked out too. So I think it is everybody locked out. I don't know. I don't do any social media. I don't do any of that Facebook or any of that Twitter, any of that crap. I don't. I read news a bit, but I don't look at any of the social media stuff. When I, like, even if you see my YouTube feed, it's all, I guess you'd say, informational stuff. It's all cars and my archery. I love archery. I love shooting. I love guns. I love the athletics, all the baseball, basketball, racing, bowling, you name it. I like the athletic stuff. I like the real stuff, the real life stuff. I'm not into the fiction, the fantasy, that kind of stuff. I don't get into any TV shows, movies, stuff like that. So I'm not up on all the current trends and what's popular and what people like and this and that. I don't follow all that stuff. So I don't hear about what's going on the Apex stuff from any of the social media stuff. I usually just see it in the emails from Apex. And of course, I watch the YouTube guys. I'll watch Patrick. I watch some Patrick Whelan trading. I watch some trades by Matt, Alpine Trader a bit. There's a few guys that I like to watch to see how they look at the market, see how they think about the market, but I don't follow anybody when I trade. I'm not like watching somebody and then, oh, he's going long, I'm going long. I definitely don't do that. I tried that back in the beginning and I saw right away that don't work. Trying to follow somebody that doesn't work. So yeah, I hear some stuff from the YouTubers a bit. They'll talk about some of the stuff, but I'm not up on all the drama and all the people. Like I hear about people got pissed off about Apex wanting to see proof of our trades and see these kind of recordings, and I just took it as it's a logical thing. If they're having problems, I don't really see why people thought it was such a horrific idea. I think I ranted about this before on one of my other live streams too, because I don't think many people understand what real prop firm trading was back in the day, and still is actually. The SMB kind of, corporate professional traders, these guys have high standards. These guys aren't letting any Joe Blow come in and trade their money. You have to prove yourself, and you have to be able to perform, and if you can't perform, you get cut, and they're watching every little thing that you do. And I think SMB even has accountability groups. They have trading groups where you've got 3-4 guys at your desk that trade with you, and they're watching over you too, saying, hey, what are you doing? You need to take a break or something. If you're getting on tilt, they keep each other, they help keep each other in line. And I think SMB even has like a lead trader at each desk who's like the more experienced, more veteran kind of guy. So the professional trading, you're not just getting to do whatever you want and just throw contracts around however you want. So when people have that kind of freedom with these home, I guess you'd call them home retail prop firms, Apex, Tradeify, whatever you're trading, just throwing around any kind of contracts that you want to do. I believe Apex called it whimsical trading. You know, just impulsive is what I call it, impulsive trading. Uh, you're not going to make money. You know, people have tried forever, and you're not going to make money. And for sure, I was doing it at time. I just did it last week. That's pretty much how I was trading last week. I was just throwing around contracts and sizing up too much, and you know, discipline just went out the window. I got greedy, honestly, from the gold. I'd made some good money several days in a row, and I got greedy and paid the price. So yeah, if you think that a prop firm asking you to verify that you are who you are and that you're the one taking the trades when you're working from home, and you know, there's no desk cam or webcam or you know spy cam or anything watching us when we're trading for Apex. They don't have any way of watching us. So yeah, they see our trades, but how do they know that, like my wife and I, how do they know that my wife and I don't uh, both have this set up and then I do all the trading? Uh, but I know if they look at our trades, I know they know that we obviously are not the same trader. We trade completely differently. My wife is holding for hours and hours and hours, and I'm more of a quick, short-term scalper kind of trader. So I know just from the trading behavior that they see on our accounts, I know that Apex knows that a couple like us that we and actually the households have to split 20 accounts. We're sharing 20 accounts. We can't have 20 each. Uh, Apex says you can only have 20 per household. So for my wife and I, we have to share it. At one point, she had like 11, and I had like 9, and that's just how it was, you know. And then now that she's lost a few and I've lost a few, it's okay. Whoever has more, if I can build up more, whatever. If she has more, whatever. Who cares? As long as we got multiple accounts and we can make some money, you know, cool. But the Apex guys don't know for sure on some of these folks. Hey, you need to show us that you're the one actually trading your account, that you actually know how to trade, that somebody's not trading for you. I don't blame Apex for wanting to see video proof of people trading. Um, there's all kind of scams and you know dishonest people, and there's all kind of crap out there. So you know, if you're one of those folks that's upset about Apex requiring you to send video of your trading, uh, you know, you maybe need to do some research on what real prop firms are, what real prop firm trading is. Uh, and I don't mean like the Forex guys. I mean the guys like SMB that are an actual physical location with offices and employees and professional, and they have all their licenses and all that kind of crap. You know, it's no joke to be a professional trader and to do this stuff. There's a lot to it. So if you're at home doing your retail trading and you're pissed off because somebody wants you to verify your identity and they want you to show some video of you trading, yeah, why don't you go apply at SMB Capital and get a reality check on what prop firm trading requires? This ain't a joke. There's unbelievable potential here to make money, but obviously they have to do their due diligence to avoid scammers and you know, dishonest people breaking the rules and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't have any sympathy for the folks that are complaining about a video or whatever. You know, okay, go trade with some other Tradeify or one of those other companies that if you like the 5 accounts, then you'll do fine over there. You know, you can still make a lot of money with those guys with 5 accounts. But the payouts are limited. The Apex layout payouts are not limited. Apex has paid out multiple people $1 million plus payouts multiple times. It's happened. This isn't pipe dream kind of stuff. It's the kind of thing that for the skilled trader that knows what they're doing, if they take advantage of Apex properly and leverage properly and play the game right, Jade Cap and Trader Kane, some of these guys that got the $1 million payouts, they all talk about it. You gotta take the smart trades. You can't just take whatever you think is going to happen. You got to read the market well, take smart trades, and you got to size accordingly, and you got to take your stops accordingly. You got to play it professionally. People want to play it like it's playing slots or playing the casino, and I'm just guessing, and I'm just impulsive, and I'm just taking a shot. I've tried that. I don't want to do that. I tried that and it didn't work. I've been trying to be more professional now for the past couple years, how I handle it and how I think about it, and it's helped. It's definitely helped me. I have these multiple positive accounts because of changing my ways and being more disciplined and taking my stops. And a couple of these accounts, the biggest account, the 5800 one, this one goes back to last year. This one 4800 goes back to last year. I believe these two are more recent, but a couple of my accounts I was able to really be patient and really treat them carefully and not blow it up. Obviously I've blown up a lot of accounts, PAs, because I'm at like PA 38, I think 37 or 38, and obviously I've only got 7 left or whatever. So most of my PAs I've blown. And pretty much always doing the same kind of stuff, sizing up too much, and not taking my stops, letting losses get too big, and trying to add to losers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've had to have more strict rules with myself too. And when I saw Apex having more strict rules on us, I was already going that direction anyway. I was already pushing myself. I'd already been trading micros for a while. I'd backed off to micros probably a year before Apex started cracking down on the intraday drawdown, and not just the trailing drawdown, but like your drawdown percent. They're like, we don't want to see you guys risking more than, I think they said like 20% or something within the day. Even though you're not failing, it's like a strike. It's a rule so that you can't get a payout if you hit that over, if you hit over too much drawdown. I've done that several times on my PAs. I've done it several times where I get too deep into the negative. I get into tilt, and that one last week, I think 1600, I think I did it on that one. I had too much drawdown for the day, and then even though I ended up at 800, was okay for my $3,000 balance that I had before. I'm pretty sure I broke the rule with the 1600 drawdown. When I had it at 1600, I'm pretty sure I broke the rule. That was like 50% of my account, so it's way too much. So yeah, I can't get a drawdown even though I got this account back up. I can't get a withdrawal out of this account even if I wanted to for a while. I think they say like 10, you have to do like 10 trading days or something. I don't even remember. But yeah, they'll email you and tell you, hey, you broke the rule. You have to trade 10 clean days for a while, and don't break the rules if you want to get a payout, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm not even trying to get a payout. I'm just trying to build these accounts, and I'm trying to be more disciplined about drawdown, about size, about everything. So yeah, I don't mind Apex holding us accountable. I don't mind Apex wanting to see our trades. I appreciate the size and the scale that they operate with, and I do hope that people continue to support Apex and that it continues to be strong, because it has been a solid, strong prop firm for years now. They've paid out a ton of money compared to everybody else. They had way more clients than everybody else. And from what I've heard, it does sound like a lot of people have left Apex to go to these other firms, And I get it. I mean, if Apex is going to make you jump through a bunch of hoops, I get it why people wouldn't want to do that and they'll just go to somebody else. I get it. But I still say, hey, if I got to jump through hoops to have 20 times leverage compared to 5 times leverage, yeah, sorry guys, I'm going to jump through the hoops. I'm going to jump through the hoops. I mean, you don't have, like, I'm not copy trading. You don't have to use the trade copier. You can trade each account individually, and that is a distribution of risk right there that, lots of people talk about that, distributing their risk in various assets and stuff like that. But I've also heard from pretty old school, pretty successful trader type guys that don't do the long-term investing, that they say the opposite, and they say, no, I don't really trust these markets. We're in crazy times and you never know what's going on, and they won't leave their trades in the market anymore, and they get in and scalp out some profits intraday. uh, it may be with some significant size. Maybe they're trading, whatever's big for them, 10 minis or 20 minis or whatever's big for them, 50 minis, who knows, whatever's big for them with their big accounts. But yeah, some of these old school guys that I've heard talk about trading, they've said very similar ideas, that they feel safer to trade different things at times when it looks like it's good to trade those individual things, and then pretty much just stay away from everything else. So like a couple of guys I've heard that they'll trade gold. That's where I got the idea from, is listening to these guys. Because I heard other guys talk about that they'll trade like gold, oil, and indexes, and that's about it. And I heard a few of the old school guys saying that, okay, this market is good today, I'm going to go to this market, and I tried that a bit. I tried to do the gold and the oil a bit, but yeah, for me, I pretty much just stick to the NQ. I pretty much prefer to stay on the micro NASDAQ, the MNQ, and just try to feel, I guess, in tune with that market, because even the ES, even if I try to play on the ES, I feel kind of thrown off a bit. I've mostly played on the NASDAQ since I started. And when I play on the ES, it does kind of throw me off a bit sometimes. I don't know. I just don't feel as comfortable with when I play the ES as I do when I play the NQ. And yeah, I'm just trying to get good at one thing, and I just kind of feel like you don't really have to bounce around to the different markets. I mean, if you're good enough a trader to do that and you want to do that, cool, but I feel like it didn't really help me to try to chase the hot market where the moves are good. It hasn't really helped me to do that. So yeah, I'm still just pretty much just gonna focus on the NASDAQ for time being, and see if I can get even better with that, instead of trying to learn other markets and watch other markets and flip back and forth on the book map and flip on the Ninja Trader charts and stuff, having to different tabs click. It's not that big of a deal to click different tabs, but it is a bit of a brain drain, I guess I would say, trying to bounce around and watch this and then watch that. I'd rather just watch the one thing and just stick to that. And I'll try sometimes, like I have on my split screen, you can see I have the NQ and the ES, and I'll try sometimes, I'll go ahead and put one of my PAs over here on the ES, and like if I'm gonna take a long over here on the NQ, then I'll basically just come over here and do the same thing over here on the ES. But they don't even correlate that well sometimes, is why I don't really like to even do that. Especially over the last few years that I've been trading, there's been plenty of times where ES is struggling to get above VWAP, and NQ is way up towards the high of day. You can see big divergences between how they're performing sometimes. If everybody's really rotating heavy into tech and they're pulling their money out of the other stuff, the safer stuff, you might see the ES is really struggling because the other stuff is a big part of the ES, and then the NQ is doing really well because it's so tech heavy. And so that kind of thing where it's like, okay, just because I'm long on the NQ doesn't mean it's going to pay off to be long over here on the ES. So I've pretty much just been trading the NQ for a while now, and then basically if I'm trying to get greedy, then that's when I'll start trying, let me add another one on over here and trade another account over here instead of doing like the trade copier over here on the NASDAQ. I'll want to do let me just do it totally separate over here, separate account, separate ES instead of doing the trade copier. I don't really like the trade copier. The one I use is the free one. Uh, if anybody doesn't know, the free um, simple trade copier, that's it. The free NinjaTrader trade copier is called Simple Trade Copier. It's not the greatest, but I mean it works. You could set it up to trade from like one PA to the other PA, whatever you want. But it basically has this button down here, copy on, so that if you did an order, let's say I put in a limit order and the limit order gets filled, it will copy that. It'll do a limit order onto that other account, and if the other account does get filled, it'll go ahead and do both of the accounts on the copier. That if I have my ATM set up, the stops will pop up on this master account. The stops will pop up, and then if you click over and you look at the other account, it won't show the other. It won't show the other account. It won't show the stops. I mean, it will, like, you'll see the trade entry, but you won't have the stops on the other account if you do the copier. And for me, it glitched a few times doing that copier. It glitched a few times where this master account would do its thing and it would stop out, and then, like, say I was copying across 2 or 3 accounts. For some reason, one of the accounts, it just wouldn't even take an order. It wouldn't even do an exit order. It would, for some reason, like, cancel the exit order or something, or it just wouldn't work or something. I don't even know. But yeah, I don't really trust Simple Trade Copier that much. It does work most of the time. It only failed on me a few times, honestly. And the glitches weren't that bad or anything. But yeah, the Simple Trade Copier can work for folks. It's free if you wanted to try it. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Hopefully we have a good week and have some good movement. We don't have any big CPI or anything. We'll see what happens. Good luck.